All right, welcome back to another Tech Talk. I'm your host Josh from KeepItTechie. I'm excited for all you guys to be here. I'm excited for my guest to actually come through. I definitely appreciate him coming through. Um, and right now, hold on one second. Hold on, my mic. Press one. If you hear my mic, please let me know in the chat. But shout out to everybody that's here. I see a couple people here trickling in. Um, I got lovely angel lady. Good to see you. I definitely appreciate you coming through. James Foreman, what's up? What's up? Maddox, what's up, man? Oh, my mic is good. Thank you, bro. Thank you for letting me know. I definitely appreciate it. Um, but man, I'm excited about this one. I got Oz Talks Hardware. I've been following Oz for a very long time. I remember when his channel was a little smaller, you know what I'm saying? Now he's up there in the clouds. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a big channel. Let me just say that. But nah, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you coming through. Go on and well, first off, let me shoot. I don't have everything ready. One second.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, and we was in the back having a good conversation. I was enjoying the conversation with him before I brought it. Switched it
Yeah.
over. Yeah, but shout out again to everybody that came through. Thanks for putting the numbers in the chat, man. But first off, eyes, just go on and introduce yourself and just go on and introduce yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That sounds good. So, apologies for no camera right now. I guess my internet connection's kind of bad at the moment, so you'll just see my nice little avatar. But for those of you I haven't met, my name is Oz or Ozzy from OzTalks Hardware, and I specialize really in trying to build very affordable computers or figuring out ways to save money whenever you're trying to build or buy a computer, or I guess any kind of technology. I'm trying to branch out a little bit, but it's been I started the channel 2016, I think, or end of 2015. So it's been almost 8 years. We're on our eighth year right now. So uh exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's wild, bro. Like I said, I've been watching you for years, and that was one of the things that piqued my interest in your channel. You know, I've always had what I like to call a home lab. You know, some type of
Hmm.
server or something at the house, and if I couldn't afford to buy a computer at the store, you know, I definitely would be looking on Craigslist,
Yeah.
trying to find those
Great
deals.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I remember seeing some of your videos where you would, you know, um, kind of contact people, just find the ports, man, and at the cheapest rate,
Hmm.
you know, you can in order to, you know, get the best bills for the budget, you know, which is super dope.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's pretty like cool too, because I thought like as I started the channel when I was six, 16 or 17. I'm not too sure.
Wow.
But I thought as I got older that I wouldn't like I'd want to branch out more away from like the deal hunting stuff and budgets and all of that. Um, but it's stayed the same. I feel like I'm gonna be doing this until I'm like old and gray and like 80, which is I guess a good place to be in. I really like what I do.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. And you kind of did the Marcus Brownlee thing, man. Marcus Brownlee started when he was like 16, 15, somewhere in there. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, honestly it is.
Yeah, super cool. But I see a couple more people popping in. I just want to, you know, shout you guys out. You know, you guys know I always like to shout out everybody that comes through my channel. I mean, just for you taking the time out your day to, you know, stop by. I definitely want
Mhm.
to shout you out and appreciate it. What's up, Nick Taylor, Aquatechie, NC Worker? Good to see you, man. Good to see you all. Um, so let's transition over. Well, I just kind of wanted to ask you a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
about what got you started in like what just popped up in your head at 16 years old. Like, let me just start
Yeah.
uploading videos on YouTube about this stuff.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Thanks for asking it. Um, it started when I was a little younger, around like 12. There's this computer game that I wanted to play, but our family computer was terribly slow. There was no way we could play the game on that computer. And so I started researching like how much would I have to spend in order for me to play the game that I wanted to play, to either upgrade this computer or buy a new one. And then slowly, as I was researching, I found that I could actually just build a computer. And so that's the route that I started to take.
Okay.
Um, After about like a year or two of saving up, I don't quite remember how long it took. I built my first computer. It was like 300 and like some dollars or something like that. And it wasn't the greatest, but I was able to play the games that I wanted to play. And then that kind of kick-started my interest in computers. Like even after I built my computer, I still kept up with like computer technology, computer news, all that kind of stuff. And I was looking for an outlet to kind of like share like the cheaper side of things because I feel like at the time there wasn't really anyone covering that.
Hmm.
And then I just started making content about it, and it grew from there. It was really cool seeing it just kind of organically uh, climb the ranks, I guess, in popularity.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope, man. Like a lot of the times, because everybody subscribed to Linus Tech Tips,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
when you see the bills that he does, I mean, he does a few budget bills here and there, but when you
Hmm.
see the um the videos with a lot of the bills that he does, it's
Yeah.
ungodly expensive.
Yeah, it's like I'm never gonna be able to afford that.
Yeah, and it looks cool. I'm happy to
Yeah,
look at it. You know, I enjoy the video, but yeah, that's
yeah,
all I see
yeah.
is little dollar signs across the screen, man, when I'm watching a
Exactly,
lot of this stuff. So,
exactly. Yeah, I don't know how you are, but like I'm pretty it takes a lot for me to actually purchase something. Like I'll do a ton of research. I'll wait until I absolutely need to get it and then I'll purchase it. So watching Linus's videos are like a nice little getaway from that kind of mindset because
hmm,
it's like I can see what it's like without having to spend any money, just my time.
yeah, 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 that's cool, man. And yeah, I try to be frugal and only buy when I need something. Like I recently
Yeah.
got a I don't know if you do anything with dry. I don't remember seeing videos where you cover any type of NASs or anything like that. Have you
Hmm.
covered that
Hmm.
on your channel at
I
all?
haven't. I have
Okay.
friends who have,
Mm-hmm.
and I know a little bit about it, but I'm definitely not like well versed in it by any means.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm only bringing it up because I just kind of purchased one a while back
Uh huh.
just to do. I use Synology and I back up all my
Yeah.
yeah all
Hmm.
my videos, like all my
Hmm.
editing and all that stuff on my Synology drive, so I don't lose it, as well as some of
Yeah.
it in the cloud that's more important than anything else.
Hmm.
So
Was it a good investment? You're happy you got it?
yeah, yeah, I'm 100% happy because I'm able to, and then I got big enough drives where I can back up my wife's important stuff that she has on her computer. Pretty much everybody in the house, they have their own area to back up
Hmm.
their data, and then
Yeah.
also I got a separate one where you can um run backups as well to it from the Synology drive. And
Got
I
it.
just,
Got it.
yeah, run it like
Dang,
that.
you're you're fully backed up. Like
Hmm.
you're not
Yeah.
losing any of your data. That's good.
Yeah, that's always been an important thing to me. Just making sure my data is backed up. And that comes from school. And I'm glad
Hmm.
we kind of segue into, I want to touch on school as well. So based on me researching, before this interview, I know that you
Hmm.
you went to school for
Yeah.
programming or something like that. Do you want to speak on that software engineering
Yeah.
and all that? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I went to school. I got my undergrad in computer engineering, which I guess makes makes sense. Um, but yeah, I graduated recently in that, and then I decided to try YouTube full time after graduating from school, and I
Mhm.
did that for a few months. Realized that I didn't enjoy it as much when it was a full time job, and so now I'm working a full time job as a software engineer, but then I just do YouTube part time as a hobby.
Okay. Okay. That's dope, man. And um was it difficult to secure the position once you got out of school? Um
It took a lot of work.
mhm.
I think I was in a blessed position where I didn't have any debt, and then I still had a lot of savings, and so I could really just spend. And my parents live close by, so I could stay with them if I needed to, just to save money on rent. So I was in a blessed position where I could spend pretty much 8 to 10 hours a day studying for interviews. And in that regard, it was difficult because some of the interviews for software engineering
Mhm.
are they can be very tough. Like you definitely have to prepare sometimes months in advance for them. And then also I guess it was after it was like April 2021 when I started doing interviews and everything. And so this was still coming off like the beginning of the pandemic. And so I still think people were being a little bit conservative with their hiring,
Mhm.
not kind of how it was now, where there's people leaving their jobs and there's a big demand for more workers and all of that. So yes, long-winded answer, but yes, it was difficult, but I think I was in a good position where I had the resources to figure it out.
Cool, cool. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. Now one of the things I do, the one of the reasons I do these technology talks is to try to help people get interested in getting into the IT, especially
Mhm,
and not just I'm not trying to exclude anybody, but especially people that I grew up, you know, from like the area of the country where I grew up. It's not
mhm,
we're not represented as much, and I don't want to drag you into a conversation about race or anything like that. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day,
mhm,
we're not represented in the tech field as much as I think we should be. You know what I'm saying? And so
mhm,
that's one of the important things or important reasons I do these tech talks. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And so my reason for saying all that is um, what um what resources or not what resources how would you recommend someone get into the field like nowadays? It's because
mhm.
of course I'm older. I
Yeah,
got into the field differently, but you're closer to kind of the beginning stages of actually getting into the IT field, being that you've
yeah,
completed college. This is kind of like your first job, right? And outside of
yeah,
YouTube, what are your recommendations for people trying to get into it?
yeah. I will, I'll preface this by saying I have a lot to learn because I've only been working for 7 months,
Hmm.
um, and I don't know too much about the IT field, but I can at least speak towards the software engineering field.
Hmm.
I think there are a few options. I still think maybe not the easiest option, but I guess the most effective option is still to get like a undergrad 4-year degree if you can. Um, because I still think that would get you at least the most consistent results compared to everything else. Now, that's just an option, if that's not an option, which is totally understandable, there are other things that you can do too. And one of them, which my friend is actually, he's the head of, it's a free boot camp called 100 Devs. I don't know if you've heard of it,
Yeah, I have.
but okay, you have?
Hmm.
Yeah. That's a great way to get your foot in the door into the tech field if you're not too sure where it starts. It's it's every year, and I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but every year they have like a free boot camp, which is basically just like I think like a 5 or 6 month course on front end web development. And it teaches you from the basics. You come in with zero knowledge, and then
Mm-hmm.
you come out of it with projects under your belt, homework assignments done under your belt, a good understanding of web development, and then also the career like development as well. So how to do interviews, how to do a resume, how to network, all of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, you kind of have enough of the resources, enough of the knowledge to put yourself out there, start applying to jobs, get your first job, even if it is not completely related to what you learned during 100 devs, and you can just kind of go from there. The hardest part is just getting your foot in the door. I feel like once you get your foot in the door and you can get that first gig, everything else becomes progressively easier, right? And then you'll have more options as it becomes easier. So I'm with you too that more representation is always a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just allowing people who may not have had the resources growing up to be in better positions, there's still options out there. Just it just might be a little bit more difficult, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I agree. I agree. Now, you spoke on getting your foot in the door. Did
Hmm.
were you able to get your foot in the door because of your network?
Hmm. Good question. Great question. I think at the end of the day, I think really my degree helped me more than networking. But I
Mm,
think one of the beauties of going to the school that I did was that I was able to meet a lot of people along the way who kind of helped me get my foot in the door, right? So like the CEO of the company that I currently work for, he is an alum from my school, along with a lot of other hires, right? And a lot of higher ups. The person that interviewed me was an alum at my school as well. And so it's just easy to connect with them because they understand like, you know, maybe the rigor or like the determination you need to like get to the other side. And then I think that's also the beauty of things like being a part of 100 devs, all that kind of stuff. Because if one person can get a job and you went to school with them or you worked with them or you did a project with them, it's so much easier if they can give you that recommendation to get you to at least the first step of interviewing, right? And then after that, it's kind of on you. But getting that first step to interviewing is so important because that's really hard.
yeah.
HR goes through hundreds of resumes, you know, sometimes a day. So if you can get past that resume stage, then you have a much better shot, right?
Cool, cool. Yeah. And now I'm glad you went exactly where I was trying to go, man. With the when I asked you the networking question, because there's that old debate. Well, I
Hmm.
don't know if you not probably not so much in the software engineering side because I'm not sure of the certifications or anything you can get, but a lot of people in the
Yeah.
general tech field, they always have a conversation or a debate about whether school or whether they should go the school route or whether you should go
Hmm.
the certification route. And I'm glad you brought up
Hmm.
school because I always say that that's one of the benefits of actually going to a college by
Hmm.
building up a network. So I agree with,
Hmm.
I 100% agree with you there. And you end up running into people that have went to that school, alums and all that
Hmm.
that can help you be successful in it or help you at least get your foot in the door.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm curious, like how I don't know if you went school route or certification route, but I know that one of the questions I got in like the prep email discussed like certifications. Like I'm
Hmm.
just curious, like how have you seen that like impact people's ability to, I guess, get their foot in the door, get the job, etc.
Yeah, in in my experience,
Mm-hmm.
certifications are heavily weighed, when it comes to getting your foot in the door if they see you have certifications because it's considered specialization. You're
Mm-hmm.
specializing in something, especially once you get your high end certifications like
Okay.
Cisco if you're in the networking, or
Mm-hmm.
one of the big things now is AWS. So
Yeah,
those
cloud.
AWS certifications, because they're vendor specific, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
to where you can get in. And so that's what I've been seeing. I've been seeing a trend of people getting a lot more certifications and jobs requiring more certifications in certain areas
Mm-hmm.
in tech. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it's um it's almost like it's more looked for than having a degree in certain instances.
Mm.
Now, once you get
Yeah.
into like management, like IT management, so like those type of management roles, then the
Mm-hmm.
degree will come into effect. But still, that
Mm-hmm.
degree, I think it's important because I do have a degree. I have a bachelor's degree in information security or whatever.
Okay.
And I went to a small school, well, an online school, and that's because I
Yeah.
already had a family. I was in the
Yeah.
military, doing my thing with that, and it was just the whole time factor. So I didn't go to a traditional
Yeah.
college. I missed all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is
But
a
the
benefit, but it wasn't. Oh, go ahead.
no, you're good. You got it.
Okay, no, I was just saying it was it is a benefit, but those certifications I think helped me more, especially since I work kind of I've been tied to the DoD as well.
Yeah.
So with DoD positions, you have to have the 85 70
Got
certs,
it. Okay.
security plus. So that is was more beneficial for
Okay.
my case.
S- So, would you say that uh, if there was an option, if somebody had the option of like going to get their 4-year undergrad degree, and but it would be cost more time and money, or they could go the certification route, which one do you think would be a better recommendation,
The
or would it depend?
it all depends. It all
Okay.
depends on that person's situation.
Yeah.
Like if you're balling on a budget, so to speak, or whatever you
Mm-hmm.
however you want to say it, you want to um start at that certification level because it's a whole
Got it.
bunch of resources out there, you know what I'm saying, that you could
Yeah.
take to prep for these certifications. And that's one of the things
Mm-hmm.
I kind of do on my channel. I'm planning on releasing a course, a free course pretty soon, because on my
Mm-hmm.
channel I typically talk about the Linux operating system. And so
Yeah.
what I'm planning on taking this month, well, the beginning of next month is the CompTIA Linux Plus certification. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a course, and I built the course, and I'm basically going to validate that the course works by actually taking the certification based on the information I put together for the course. And so
Mm-hmm.
anyway, uh, certifications or a cheaper route to get into it. And I've seen
Got it.
plenty of people get in and excel just off of certifications. And then later on, they may end up going to school, because companies do pay for stuff like that as well. They
Mm-hmm.
help you with school. You can go online and all that stuff once you get into your field and you get some experience.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for that input, because I only have the like the university side. Like I don't have firsthand experience with certifications and their impact. I've only
Hmm.
heard it maybe through some friends. So that's really helpful. Thanks.
Yeah, and the problem is, well, and the thing is that it's kind of hard for me to tell you because I don't know specifically what certifications you can get that'll help you
Hmm.
with software engineering or programming. I mean, it's either you know the programming language or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now you can, based on what I've seen, a lot of devs they have like a portfolio, like a GitHub with
Yeah. Yeah.
projects that they've worked on. So but you went the right route, in my opinion, when it comes to development, um, by going to school. I think so. That's why
Yeah.
I say it's kind
I
of.
don't.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like I'm very glad I went the route,
Hmm.
but I don't think my parents would have let me do anything different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Yeah, sometimes your parents will push you, you know what I'm saying? That kind of happened to me. Well, they was trying to get me to go to school,
Yeah.
even though I couldn't afford it, you know what I'm saying? So, but I was being a little rebellious, so to speak, and then I also wanted to
Yeah.
leave the city where I was from, and just
Okay.
see something different. That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons I joined the military. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Got it. Got it.
but
Yeah.
this turned into an interview about me, man.
Sorry.
Nah, I'm
I
just
get
playing,
curious. I
man.
like hearing about people.
Nah, it's cool.
So,
It's cool. It's cool, man. Like I said, is all it is a conversation. Oh, let me see. Someone was asking in the chat. Let's see. I thought someone said something. Hey, KeepItTechie, where can we sit back up about AI since implementation? Oh, that's AI. The IRS engineering cannabis. Yeah, I answer your question in a minute. But shout out to everybody that's coming through. I see a couple more people or new faces. Consider subscribing. You know, if you're new to the channel, this is something that I try to do all the time. Um, so what kind of inspired you to go for that once you decided to go to college? Because one thing I've seen, um, especially a lot a lot of black people, they end up going
mhm.
into fields that don't pay as well. STEM
Mhm.
fields, in my opinion, so science, technology, engineering, math,
Yeah.
and medical fields, lawyer fields, those they tend to pay, but uh I don't know, a mass communications degree is
Yeah.
really not gonna get you a lot. I mean, there's stuff out there, but what
Mhm.
how did you decide to go the STEM route?
I think if I'm being completely honest, so I'm Nigerian,
Okay.
and I immigrated here with my family to the USA when I
And
was
I figured
6.
that, but I didn't want to ask. I was just gonna let you
Yeah.
say it. Okay.
No, that's totally fair. I understand why. But, um, being an immigrant, especially a Nigerian immigrant, your parents make it clear you have 3 to 4 choices for your career. You can be an engineer, you can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, or you could I guess now you could be like a businessman, get a business or economics degree, like an
Hmm.
analyst. So those were my 4 options really. And from like day 1, as early as I can remember, my parents did not like let me like pretty much choose anything else. They said if I had like a hobby, get a business degree, try to turn it into a business, they were okay with that. But for the most part, like they instilled that into me from an early age. Um, and then also just early on, like mom tutored me in math and she like tried to get me to do like more, I guess, advanced math and science. And I think was naturally inclined to that. I liked learning a lot growing up.
Hmm.
And so I think my mom just saw that and then she, I guess, honed those skills a little bit more. And so I think I just had an early, what's the word, exposure to more STEM things. And then it was, for lack of a better term, indoctrinated in me that like you should go for like a
Yeah.
type of STEM type of career.
Hmm.
And there are pros and cons to that. Like but I think at the end of the day, like I enjoy it and it really did set me up for success. So like I can't even be mad at my parents for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, I tried to put the information out there, but I'm definitely doing the exact same thing to my sons because I got
You
two.
are?
Yeah, I got two boys, and I'm trying to push them directly into the STEM field. It doesn't matter what
Hmm.
what you choose, but and I hope they understand it, just like the way you're saying now, um, that they really set you up for success. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's I hope my kid, yeah, they don't like it now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think they're gonna appreciate it once they get older. Or not I'm not looking for appreciate, but I'm saying like I hope they're gonna see the
Yeah.
benefit of me pushing them
Yeah.
to that area, because we all know that tech is being incorporated into every aspect of life.
Everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I just did a video, they're incorporating facial recognition for people to log into their IRS accounts. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's just being incorporated in everything. You got to take a selfie, and it'll
Yeah.
verify you based on your driver's license. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
just every aspect of life is going to incorporate some form of tech. And so that's jobs. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
And I mean, I don't have kids. Obviously, I was a kid, but
mhm.
and it's definitely easier to learn that when you're younger, right? But it's also important to know that like it's like never too late. If you want to get into it now when you're older, like you can still, like you said earlier, there's so many like free resources online to at least get you started. And if you find that it's something that's interesting or something that you want to pursue, then you can invest more into it and then just go, it'll just be a different route, but it doesn't mean it's impossible.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. Um Now let me ask you this question, and this is kind of from your Q&A you did a while back, but it was an interesting question I wanted to ask you for myself.
Hmm.
Um when did you realize that you were actually helping people with your videos that you do on your channel? When was that point, like you
Ooh.
was like, "Oh man, I'm actually helping people. This is dope," you know? When was that point? How did you feel?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Let me see if I can pinpoint a moment. Um, hmm,
And just to fill
one
in, I
second.
mean, nah, you good. It's just to fill in
Yeah,
a little bit. I I don't know. I had that moment a little while ago,
yeah,
and I know my channel is like super small, but still, I mean, I've mentored, a lot of people,
yeah.
and um, some recently, someone got a job, and
Mhm,
it was thanks to them, me pushing them and all that. You know,
mhm.
they was happy, they ran into me, and I don't know, I just felt some kind of way, like, man, I'm actually helping
Yeah,
people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I know it's different for you, because I mean, your videos, they help people. I'm not saying they don't. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's I don't know if it's a little different for you, but I was just curious. I wanted to know
yeah, yeah, no. No,
if you.
that's good. That's really good. I I would say I'm just sorting my videos oldest to newest.
Mhm.
And I think the first time I can really recall a video like really helping someone was when I made the computer I dubbed like the Ozbox. And
Okay.
basically it was like a $150 computer. Um that was like pretty easy to build and most of the parts were like readily available. And I think I remember this one because I like specifically tried to make it like a system where people have access to it. Because one of the hardest things about making any kind of like computer build video is that oftentimes the parts go out of stock or the prices change, etc., especially nowadays. And so just putting that out there and then getting really good reception on it and then people saying like this actually like they would they would tweet with like a picture of it and they would say like, yeah, I was able to build this. I didn't know it was possible before. And the performance is good. Like I can either help my friend, my daughter, my cousin, myself get into computer gaming and I don't have to spend a lot of money. And so that was the first time that it really clicked for me. And I think from there on is when I started changing the almost the tagline from the channel for the
Mhm.
channel was like teaching people how to save money when building computers. And so
Okay.
nowadays I try to make at least every video embody that, unless it's like a update video or like a setup tour video where I just like show some a part of like myself and my personality. Um, But yeah, that's a good question. It's hard to pinpoint moments like that, honestly. I guess because I've been doing it for a while, but
Mm. No, I agree, man. That's dope right there. I might have to go back and check out that video. I might have missed that one. You said it was you it's called the Ozbox where people can connect to it. I think I missed that one.
Ozbox, yeah,
Okay.
Ozbox, and it was like a way, just like a cheap way for people to get into computers.
Mm-hmm. Got you, got you, got you.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's dope. And for anybody that's just coming in, if you just got in here, go on in and check out Oz's channel. Hold on, I gotta connect it. But I always bring up the person I'm interview's channel so people can go subscribe and all that stuff. He doesn't really need my help, you know what I'm saying? But
I appreciate it nonetheless.
yeah, if
Thank
you're
you.
yeah, if you haven't seen his channel, he has an excellent channel, man, where he talks and he just kind of cover what he do with the a lot of the hardware bills. Now let me ask you this as well. I mean, how difficult is it now that prices are kind of high to do
Hmm.
bills like this?
It's it's pretty tough. I've tried it a few times. Um, it's really only worked once. I feel like every few months I see if there's a different way to do it, and it's practically impossible without rehashing something that I've already done before.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had to pivot like video ideas and look for alternatives for people. Because yeah, building a computer right now is just, you can't do it any cheap way.
Yeah, yeah, because it's almost like you it's cheaper to just go on and buy in
Yeah.
certain instances. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, or even a console, like picking up an Xbox, because those ones are available and in stock. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, let me see. Shout out to a couple people here. Chris Cannon says he actually won the Eyes Buys 2.0. Thank you, Eyes and Chris.
yeah, Chris, what's up? It's good to good to see you in chat. I appreciate all your support. Yeah, Chris was a winner of one of the Oz boxes, and that's how we became friends.
Hmm. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Um, Shout out to Easy Nicks just came through. Just Jay, good to see you. Ayo, what's up, man? How you doing? I definitely appreciate y'all coming through. And AB Media, good to see you. Good to see you. And happy belated birthday again, AB Media. Shout out to you, bro. Um, so, um, what motivates you to keep creating content? I know this is
Hmm.
a like a generic question, but I'm just curious to know.
um, to keep creating content. Uh, I just feel like I think there's always going to be people who are looking for a way to save money with technology. And so I think as long as there are people out there like that, and as long as I have the ability and the resources to present the content, then I'll keep doing it. Cause I just, yeah, I enjoy it. I've been in, like, I guess growing up, like we weren't, I want to say we lived in poverty, but we definitely had to stretch the dollar to make ends meet. And so I understand like the feeling of like not being able to get like the cool stuff maybe your friends have,
Hmm.
because you can't afford it. Like you
Yeah.
can't put your money towards something like that. And so I think with that in mind, I'm reminded of that a lot when I try to make videos, and so that is a good motivator to keep it going too.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I I feel you on that because yeah, I remember that feeling, you know, of not being able to have what I saw other kids have, in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of went through a
Yeah.
phase when I got older. Once I started making good money, I called it the revenge of the past.
Where you just spent
Well,
all your money on like the things you want, and
Jordans and
then
all kind of stuff.
yeah, you flexing it, you
Yeah,
posting about it. Yeah.
yeah. But that quickly, went away once I realized how much credit card debt that I had to pay off, and or
Yeah.
I had, so don't do that,
Yeah.
kids. You know what I'm saying? Just go on and continue living frugal. You know what I'm saying? Because I would probably be in a way better situation right now. If not saying I'm in a bad situation, but I'm just saying like,
Yeah.
um, I would have a lot more money saved up. Let me say that if I,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But man, it was a question I saw in the chat. Oh, he was actually asking me, "What's up, Vince Almighty?" He said, "Keep it taken with IT becoming a buzzword. What advice do you give those that want to cross over into technology and do not have a track record or sacrificing weekends to learn?" Um, well, based on my experience, there's no way of getting around sacrificing time and your weekends to actually learn. Now you can, um, like in your current position, I don't know if you're still in the office or how it's working with your job, or if you're working in a corporate environment where there is a technology department, you could try to, see if you can get some training from the people that's there. And I've seen
Mm-hmm.
people transition from positions within the company faster than getting hired onto an IT position. Um, as long as they got some experience or some training from someone within the organization. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
dependent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also seen people come from totally different industries, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and hop over because you can leverage what you've done. As long as you have some experience that's centered around tech, like a lot of people don't don't value their Microsoft Excel skills, but essentially a Excel spreadsheet is just a
Mm-hmm.
database, so
Yeah,
you can
that's a good
relate
point.
that. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can kind of transition those skills to trying to get into the database, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I can add though. If you want to add to that question as well, you can, or um if not, don't worry
I
about
think
it.
I
Huh?
think you yeah, I think you covered it really well. That was a great question, Vince.
Yeah, definitely. Um Easy Nicks, he says, okay, I would check out. Yeah, make sure you guys check out Ozzy's channel, man. He has a lot of great content over there. I definitely appreciate what he does. And then also Speak Your Peace TV. Thank you for the super chat. He says, great content. We appreciate both of you guys. Ask him how he had to choose for a beginner Python or JavaScript. Um,
Like
I
which one I would recommend
Yeah,
for a
which one
beginner?
you recommend? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Hmm. My gut reaction is Python, just because it's very versatile and it's very like out of most languages, it's simple and it's very popular. So Python's really good. JavaScript is good if you want to get into front end development, which I think most people, and front end development is just like the front facing part of a product. So like the website, the UI, like all that kind of stuff, making sure all that works. That's usually what people consider like the simpler way of getting into um, programming. So I guess it also depends on what you want. Python is great for like data analytics, number crunching, stuff like that, but you can still use it for web development. So I guess now I'm kind of like convincing myself out of Python and into JavaScript. I guess it depends, but I would still say start with Python just so you can get a good understanding of like programming basics. Um, and then JavaScript will also get you like I guess more of the specifics to like front end development, which is like a good way to get started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And um, I kept forgetting to go back to my tech questions because I got them in separate documents. Uh, but I'm glad you brought up programming languages. And I totally forgot to ask you. So what programming languages do you know? And well, you kind of answered the recommended. So which ones do you know?
Yeah. In school we had to like learn quite a few. And the thing is, like, once you learn one of the, I guess, popular ones, you can usually learn one of the other ones like fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Um, in school, we had to do C, C++, Python, MATLAB, and I think that was it. Some like HTML and CSS. Um, but for work, I use like 90% C and 10% C++.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope, man. I I I learned a little bit in school, not much. It was mostly .NET, as
Hmm.
well as VBA, some VBA. I didn't go
Okay.
into any deep programming languages until after,
Yeah.
school. So,
Yeah. That's like C sharp now, I think. Like .NET is like they're
mm,
kind of similar.
yeah,
But
yeah, that's cool, man. So you do recommend Python as or one or the other, because both of those are the top programming languages that are being used now, or people are learning JavaScript and Python. So,
yeah, I would say Python still.
mhm.
I think that's a good one, just like a good introduction to programming languages. And then if you know that you want to do web development, then you can do JavaScript because you would have to know that.
Yeah, and that's something that I've always said on the channel. Learn when you learn one programming language, the concepts are pretty much the same, and that's how I was able to
Hmm.
transition. Because VBA is not looked at as a programming. I mean, it kind of is. It's what they use in the back end of Excel spreadsheets. You can write VBA as well as like
Yeah.
Access. You can write VBA to run
Hmm.
certain things or call queries and just different things like that. But once you understand the concept of it, like, you can pull in strings, you can variables, understanding how to
Yep.
work with numbers and
Hmm.
integers and all that stuff, then the concepts pretty much are the same. It's just the syntax.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to Gabe Bay. My man came through. What's up, bro? How you doing, bro? Shout out to you. He's a Gabe Bay is a cybersecurity professional. One of my good friends
Oh,
I met
nice.
here on YouTube.
Yeah.
But now let me ask you this. And someone just brought it up. Rust. Have you touched with Rust? The Rust
I
programming
haven't.
language? Okay.
And I know it's like kind of similar to C or C++, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I've never used it. Someone mentioned Golang. Go I've
Okay.
tried a little bit of. My roommate he used Go a lot for work, and
Okay.
Go is one that like seems pretty cool. It's like C in size and like execution, I think. So it's
Mm.
pretty quick, but then it's syntax. I mean, it's C in syntax as well, but then it's also you have a little bit more leeway with syntax. So it's a pretty cool combination of a few things.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So, last question. I say this for last, because I don't want to hold you for too long. Have you ever touched Linux? Because, all right, and let me explain why I asked. Uh, because with the budget bills, that's typically
Hmm.
what I did when I built a computer. I set up a Linux server. I didn't go
Hmm.
through all the trouble of setting up a Windows operating system on it. Uh,
Hmm.
and I know Linux doesn't support many games, so I'm sure you
Hmm.
put Windows on a lot of the stuff. But I was
Yeah.
just curious if you've ever touched or played around with the Linux operating system.
Yeah, I have. I use it for work.
Wow.
Um, yeah, well, we use Mac OS,
Mm-hmm.
which is
BSD.
somewhat similar to Linux,
Yep.
but yeah, same Unix. But um, for school, Linux was like the environment that I coded in. And then
Okay.
for a few other things, I use Linux. I haven't used it as my main operating system since like 2015 or
Mm-hmm.
14 or something like that. Um, I have considered putting it on the computers that I build, but now that Windows is essentially, you can run it unactivated, so you can just install it and it'll be
Mm-hmm.
free, and you don't have to activate it at all. I usually just stick with that because that's what most people know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. Um, yeah, and that's one of the, I guess, the major selling points for me when I first started using Linux. I mean, it's like
Hmm.
they always talk about e-waste. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so Linux is one of those things I always, especially especially since before you couldn't just install Windows and not activate it. You had to keep
Yeah.
reinstalling it in order to keep it going. But yeah, Linux was always that alternative I would tell people to use for older
Hmm.
computers they probably built
Hmm.
or recycling. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point because it's lighter than Windows, and
hmm.
so like even if like the computer is what 15 years old, you can probably choose a
Oh yeah.
Linux distro that's super light, and so it would still feel relatively snappy.
Exactly, 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 man. But I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. I didn't want to keep you too long past the hour, because I know you're a busy guy, man. And I appreciate you actually taking the time out to come do this. Now, is it anything I want you to go on and just I don't know, just kind of trying to tell people um or I don't know, just give people your links and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, for inviting me on this and chat. Thank you guys as well for listening and interacting. It was a lot of fun. Um, I have my Twitter and my YouTube channel, just OzTalksHW, and I actually have a giveaway going on right now that, if I can remember the link to it, and it ends later today. I think at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, but don't quote me on that. Um, but it's, let me see if I can. Can I send you the links to that? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
cool?
yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
I'll just put it in the Google Meet.
Okay. All right, cool. I
Yeah, so
drop it
that's
in
the
there right
giveaway. It's just
fast.
for it's for this software called GeForce Now, and essentially it just allows you to like rent out like one of Nvidia's computers, and then you get to play games off of their computer. So if you have a slow computer but you have decent internet connection, it actually works fairly well. So,
Okay. Yeah. That's cool, man. And so I put that link in the chat so you guys can click on it and sign up for the giveaway. And that's dope, man. That's something I need to start doing. You know what I'm saying? I need to start doing that um on my channel, and I don't know, man. Maybe it'll get more people over here to. I don't know, because the
mhm.
whole purpose is to get people into tech, and I tell people that that's the whole point of it. You know what I'm saying? But I think the giveaway thing will kind of attract more people to try to get them around at least, so they can, I don't know, either consider it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and Um, all his links are down in the description of the video as well. I think I put your Twitter down there, his YouTube channel. Go down and subscribe to his YouTube channel, Oz's YouTube channel. It's an um, excellent channel. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely worth subscribing to from my little small channel. But man, hey, if you
Thank
can,
you.
just go down and stick around after this. I wanted to just talk to you after this, but shout out to everybody again that came through on my day ones and everybody that's been around the channel. I definitely appreciate you guys, and you guys already know what I say at the end every single time. Keep it techie.